Scorpio, there is an invisible calendar written especially for you, and within it are days circled in red by the universe itself. Days when everything promised to you will finally manifest. Days when the justice you've silently awaited will arrive in ways that will leave you speechless. Days when the power that was stolen from you will be returned multiplied. And these days are not far off. Some are just weeks away, others a few months. But most importantly, they are inevitable. You can't miss them even if you try, because they have been marked with your energetic signature since before you were born. While you've been living thinking nothing changes, that life has been an endless sequence of struggles and painful new beginnings, the divine has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating a series of events that will explode into your reality in such powerful ways that you'll finally understand why you had to go through everything you did. Every tear you shed alone in the dark was watering the soil from which your victory will spring. Every time you had to die internally to be reborn, you were being forged to withstand the magnitude of the blessings that are about to fall upon you. The days destined for you are not ordinary days. They are portals of radical transformation where in a matter of hours, your entire life can change direction. Where people who underestimated you will finally see who you truly are. Where opportunities that seemed impossible will open up as if the universe were saying, now it's your turn. Where you will feel, perhaps for the first time in a long time, that there truly is a greater plan and that you have always been an essential part of it. You who experience each emotion so intensely, who feel everything so deeply that it sometimes hurts, who silently carry pains that others couldn't even imagine, you were made for these specific days that are coming. Because these are days that will demand the same intensity you already possess, the same emotional depth that is already your nature, the same capacity for radical transformation that is in your spiritual DNA. God doesn't set important days for ordinary people living superficial lives. He sets extraordinary days for souls like yours, who have been through the fire so many times that they no longer fear burning, who have died and been reborn internally so many times that they know exactly how to transform pain into power, who have lost so much that they have nothing left to lose, and this makes them absolutely free and dangerously powerful. The first day marked on your divine calendar is a day of revelation. On this day, truths that have been hidden from you will come to light in ways that leave no room for doubt. Secrets that people have kept will be exposed exactly as you always suspected. Lies that have been carefully constructed around you will crumble at once, and you will finally have the confirmations that your Scorpio intuition has always given you, but which you sometimes doubted because it seemed too good to be true that you were right all along. This day of revelation will give you something you've long sought, complete validation of your perception. You who have always felt things others didn't, who captured energies and intentions that remained invisible to everyone else, will finally have material proof that your intuition has never deceived you. And this validation will not only be satisfying, it will be healing, because it will teach you to completely trust your instincts from now on, never again doubting what your internal radar detects. The second appointed day is a day of justice. And I'm not talking about petty, unsatisfactory human justice. I'm talking about divine justice, the kind that is perfect and inescapable. On that day, people who hurt you, who underestimated you, who tried to diminish or destroy you, will reap exactly what they sowed in your life. And you won't even have to lift a finger. The universe will do the work for you in such precise and poetic ways that you will recognize the divine hand at work. Scorpio, you who have a reputation for being vengeful, will discover today that there is something infinitely more satisfying than personal revenge. Watching divine vengeance unfold. It's seeing the universe right injustices in ways you could never have planned or executed. It's realizing that you never needed to retaliate because much greater forces were already taking care of this, just waiting for the perfect moment to act. And the beauty of this is that when that day comes, you'll already be in such a better place emotionally and spiritually that their downfall will no longer bring you pleasure. It will only give you peace. It will confirm that the universe has always been on your side, that your pain has never been ignored, that every tear has been counted and every wound recorded in the great book of cosmic justice. The third day is a day of restoration. Everything that was taken from you, trust, peace, resources, opportunities, relationships, time, energy, will begin to be returned in multiplied ways. Not just returned, but amplified, as if the divine were saying, you waited with dignity, you suffered in silence, you didn't let pain turn you into something bad. Now receive not only what was yours, but much more than you lost. This will be the day you understand why you had to lose certain things. Because if you were still holding on to what you had before, there would be no room to receive what God has prepared for you now. The losses weren't cruelties of fate. They were necessary preparations so you could receive something much greater without feeling torn between the old and the new. Scorpio, as you listen to me, something is stirring within you. A feeling you know well, that deep certainty that comes from the depths of your soul, not your rational mind. You know that what I'm saying isn't just pretty words or empty promises. You're feeling the truth of it resonating in every cell of your body. Perhaps for the first time in a long time, you're allowing yourself to believe that there really might be something good waiting for you. That all this suffering might have had a purpose, that you didn't go through all this for nothing. And I need you to know you're right to believe. You're safe to hope. You're allowed to dream again. Leave a comment now saying, I'm ready for the days that have been marked for me. It's not just a comment, it's a statement of faith. It's you telling the universe that you're available, that you're open, that you're prepared to receive what's been promised. And when you write this, you're energetically activating your own receptivity to these powerful days that are coming. You're also giving courage to other Scorpios watching, who need to see that they're not alone in believing that better days are in store for them. The fourth day is a day of recognition. On this day, the value you've always possessed, but which has been ignored or minimized for so long, will finally be recognized. People will notice what has always been right in front of you, but which they couldn't see. Talents of yours that were overlooked will be recognized as rare and valuable. Qualities of yours that were criticized will be understood as unique strengths. And the most beautiful thing, this recognition won't come from places you expected or from people you tried to impress. It will come from completely unexpected directions, from sources that truly have the power to open significant doors in your life. Because God doesn't waste divine recognition on people who can't do anything with that information. Recognition always comes with real opportunities. Scorpio, you who always felt misunderstood, who always knew you had so much more to offer than others could see, will finally experience what it's like to be seen completely. And when that happens, you'll understand why recognition took so long. Because you needed to be strong enough not to lose yourself in it. You needed to be absolutely certain of your own worth, regardless of external validation, so that when it arrived, it wouldn't define or corrupt you. The fifth day is a day of connection. On this day, you'll meet people who are meant to be in your life. Not ordinary people, but souls who speak your language, who understand your intensity without being intimidated, who value your depth without trying to make you more superficial, who recognize your power without feeling threatened. These connections will happen in ways that seem magical, but are simply divine synchronicity at work, a chance encounter that changes everything. A chance conversation that reveals soulmates on purpose. A random situation that puts you right next to the person destined to walk with you in the next chapter of your life. And you'll recognize these people instantly. You won't need time to get to know them better. You'll sense from the first moment that there's something different, something genuine, something that doesn't need to be forced or artificially constructed. Because when connections are divinely marked, they carry an energetic signature that souls like yours detect immediately. The sixth day is a day of liberation. Things that have been holding you back, old fears, repetitive patterns, promises you made to yourself that no longer make sense, loyalties that have become prisons, will simply fall away from you like broken chains, and you won't even have to fight to break free. It will be as if those bonds suddenly lose all their power over you. On that day, you'll wake up different. You'll look at things that once controlled you and wonder why it took you so long to let go. You'll feel lighter than you ever remembered feeling. You'll realize you have the freedom to make choices that once seemed impossible, and you'll use that freedom in courageous and transformative ways. Scorpio, your nature is one of constant transformation. You've experienced so many symbolic deaths, so many inner rebirths. But this day of liberation will be different from all the others, because it won't be you forcing yourself to change. It will be change happening naturally as a consequence of you finally learning all the lessons you needed to learn from that cycle. The seventh and final day is a day of full manifestation. On this day, everything you've been working on in silence, everything you've been visualizing in your most hopeful moments, everything you've been building piece by piece, even when no one was looking, will manifest in a tangible and undeniable way. It won't be a subtle progression that you need to explain for people to understand. It will be an obvious, visible transformation, impossible to ignore. People will look at your life and be unable to explain how you got where you are. They will search for logical answers and won't find them, because some leaps cannot be explained by human effort. They can only be attributed to divine grace operating in the life of someone marked for greater things. These 7 days won't necessarily happen in sequence. They may be spread out over the next few months, interspersed with normal days. But when each one arrives, you'll recognize it immediately. You'll feel a different energy in the air. You'll wake up knowing that day is special before anything else happens. Your Scorpio intuition will warn you. Pay attention. Today is one of those days. And as you navigate these remarkable days, remember one fundamental thing. You were prepared for each one. All the suffering you endured, all the strength you developed, all the wisdom you gained through your most difficult experiences, all of this was training so you could receive, process, and properly use what's coming in these extraordinary days. Because God doesn't deliver powerful blessings to people who aren't prepared to handle them. He doesn't offer transformative opportunities to souls who will squander or lose themselves in them. The days appointed for you are days of immense power, and you were forged through fire to be ready for this level of manifestation. Scorpio, all your life you felt destined for something greater, that there was a specific purpose that only you could fulfill, that there was a reason you were so different, so intense, so profound in a world that values superficiality. These marked days will confirm all of this. They will prove that you weren't crazy or arrogant. You were simply connected to a truth about your destiny that others couldn't perceive. The days are approaching. Some signs have already begun to appear in your life. Small synchronicities, intuitions that grow stronger, dreams that seem prophetic. Don't ignore these omens. They're the universe telling you to prepare, to make space, to position yourself to receive, and prepare yourself for the emotional impact of these days. When things you've waited so long for finally happen, the intensity can be overwhelming. You may cry with relief, gratitude, and the recognition that there truly was a greater plan all along. Allow yourself to feel everything fully. This is your hallmark as a Scorpio. You don't feel things halfway, and these days deserve to be experienced with the full depth of your emotions. In the days following each of these marked moments, you will process what happened. You will relive the events, feel the emotions again, integrate the changes, and with each processing, you will uncover additional layers of meaning, understand connections you didn't see at the time, and perceive how each marked day connects with the others in a larger, perfectly orchestrated pattern. Your life is about to enter a phase where extraordinary days outnumber ordinary ones, where the impossible becomes your new normal, where you finally live at the level you always knew you belonged, but which seemed inaccessible for so long. And when all this is happening, when you're living the reality of the appointed days unfolding one by one, you'll look back and understand why you had to go through everything you did. Each loss was necessary to create space for greater gains. Each betrayal taught you to recognize true loyalty. Each disappointment prepared you to not lose yourself when your dreams came true. Each moment of solitude strengthened you so you could trust yourself when opportunities demanded quick and courageous decisions. Scorpio, the days are set. The divine calendar is set. The dates have been chosen with cosmic precision, and you will be ready when each one arrives, because your preparation is already happening now, in this moment, as you absorb these words and feel their truth reverberating in your soul. Trust the process. Trust the signs. And most of all, trust that you are worthy of every blessing that's coming, because you are. Always have been, and the appointed days will prove it in ways that will leave you without doubt. If this message touched you in a way you can't explain, if you felt as if these words were specifically for you, it's because they were. Share in the comments your preparation, your recognition, your openness to receiving the days that were specifically designed for your life. Subscribe to the channel, because these marked days will require continuous spiritual guidance. You'll need reminders of who you truly are, confirmation that you're on the right path, and support to process the intense transformations that are coming. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the guidance that will help you recognize and make the most of each new day that comes your way. The days are coming, Scorpio, and you'll be ready, because you were made for this. Brace yourself for the impact.